These Are My Records, Season 1, Episode 9. These Are My Records. Hi, welcome to These Are My Records, Season 1, Episode 9. Depending on where you get your information from, breakdancing, or as people know, call it breaking, or b-boying, or b-girling, we are able to trace some of the moves back to the 1940s, 1920s, and before. In the hip-hop subculture, breaking really started to show a cohesive set of styles in the early to mid-1970s. It took another 10 years for mainstream entertainment to catch on and cash in. It is a very modern culmination of moves, styles, music, attitude, and dress. The first record up is from this time. The soundtrack for the movie Beat Street. The film and some of the music was produced by Harry Belafonte. The film stars Rae Dawn Chong, daughter of comedian and actor Tommy Chong, and Guy Davis, the son of late actors Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis. Side A. Grandmaster Melle and the Furious Five. Beat Street Breakdown. Written by Melvin Glover and Reggie Griffin. Produced by Melle and Sylvia Robertson, whose son, Leland Robertson, does the scratches. Leland Robertson Sr. and Sylvia Robertson, along with their children, were involved in and played on many records before and after. They owned the label Sugar Hill Records and signed the Sugar Hill Gang, whose record we reviewed on a previous episode of These Are My Records. The family made a name for themselves, not always in the best of light. The engineer, Shameek, or DJ King Shameek, went on to work with other acts such as King Sun and Twin Hype. The guitar player, Paul Pesco, on this song also worked with Daryl and Oates, and Madonna. Jenny Burton and Patrick Jude, Strangers in a Strange World, love theme from Beat Street. Jake Holmes, the producer of this song, is an American folk rock singer-songwriter who authored and was the original performer of the song Dazed and Confused, made famous by Led Zeppelin. The Soul Sonic Force and Shango, Frantic Situation. Arthur Baker did the music, arrangement, bass, and drums, along with the production of this song. We spoke about him on a previous episode of These Are My Records when he worked with New Order. Juicy, Beat Street Strut. Analog synthesizer, OBX and DSX arrangement and song produced by Emir Deodato. He has produced or arranged music on more than 500 albums for acts ranging from Kool and the Gang to Bjork and Katie Lang. Sharon Green, Lisa Counts, and Debbie D. Us Girls was engineered by David Belafonte and produced by his father, Harry Belafonte. Cindy Mizell, This Could Be the Night. Cindy has performed with Billy Ocean, Chaka Khan, Mariah Carey, Barbra Streisand, Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, The Rolling Stones, Steely Dan, the Dave Matthews Band, and Alicia Keys. She also wrote music for Aretha Franklin and toured with the E Street Band. Arthur Baker wrote, arranged, played bass, drums, and produced. Arthur Baker, Breaker's Revenge. Written, arrangement, backing vocals, bass, drums, percussion, and mixed by Arthur Baker. Ruben Blades, Carmen's Theme. Ruben Blades is also an actor with over 50 film and television credits and over 35 soundtrack credits, engineered by David Belafonte, produced by Harry Belafonte. The next record is Beat Street, Original Motion Picture Soundtrack, Volume 2. The first song up is by Jazzy J, Son of Beat Street. Written, arranged, drum programming, scratching, and produced by John Bias, aka Jazzy J. Mixed and engineered by David Belafonte. Juicy, Give Me All. Arranged and produced by Emir Deodato. Mixed by David Belafonte. Written by Milton G. Barnes, who has worked with recording artists such as Roberta Flack, Chaka Khan, and Carly Simon. Tina B, Nothing's Gonna Come Easy. Tina B is Arthur Baker's wife. Written by and drums Arthur Baker, Engineer Andy Wallace went on to work with Run DMC and Aerosmith. In 1999, he won a Grammy for his work on the Globe Sessions with Sheryl Crow. Engineer Bob Rosa went on to work with one of Whitney Houston's premier singles, I'm Every Woman, from the best-selling soundtrack of all time, The Bodyguard. Also worked with Mariah Carey, NSYNC, and had a Grammy win for the best reggae album by Toots and the Maytals in 2005. The Treacherous Three, Santa's Rap. Engineer David Belafonte. Written by Kevin Keaton, aka Special K, Lamar Hill, aka LA Sunshine, and Mohandas Deweese, aka Cool Mo D. Jenny Burton, It's Alright by Me. Bassist Anthony Jackson later devised the 6-string contrabass. Rocker's Revenge, Battle Cry, written, mixed, produced, bass, drums, and arranged by Arthur Baker. Guitar and engineering done by Jay Berzuti Burnett, who collaborated with Adam MCA Yout on the song Drum Machine 12-inch that was released exclusively on vinyl in 1985. Over the years, it has remained one of the rarest and most sought-after Def Jam releases. Ralph Roll Phony 4 MC's Rappin', Bubblehead, drum programming and mixed by David Belafonte. La La, Into the Night, lyrics by LaForest Cope, aka Lala. Also did the background vocals and sound effects. LaForest Cope is a singer, songwriter, and producer. Lala has played, sang with, written for, and or produced artists as diverse as Ice Cube, Lauryn Hill, Christina Aguilera, Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston. Webster Lewis has worked extensively as a session musician and a studio arranger for Herbie Hancock and Barry White. The next record is Breakin. Breakin, also known as Breakdance in the United Kingdom and Break Street in other regions. It is another film from 1984. Lucinda Dickey as Kelly Bennett / Special K. Adolfo Shabadoo Quinones as Orlando / Ozone. Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers as Tony / Turbo. Ice-T as the Rap Talker. Chris the Glove Taylor as Club Radiotron DJ. And look for Jean-Claude Van Damme, uncredited, as a background actor at Venice Beach. Before Breakin', there was a documentary called Breakin' and Enterin', a film from 1983 that documented the LA b-boy scene and inspired this film, Breakin'. Ollie and Jerry, Breakin', There's No Stoppin' Us. They also recorded the title track for the sequel, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. Jerry Knight has also worked with Ray Parker Jr. and El DeBarge. Bar-Kays, Freak Show on the Dance Floor. The Bar-Kays were originally formed in 1966 with their biggest hits, Son of Shaft and Soulfinger. Most of the group were killed along with Otis Redding in a plane crash a year later. The band on this album could be considered the Bar-Kays Mark II. Hot Streak, Bodywork. Hot Streak also worked with Chris the Glove Taylor and the next artist, Carol Lynn Towns. Carol Lynn Towns, 99.5. This is a cover version of Alton McCain's and Destiny's 99.5. Carol Lynn Towns also recorded Believe in the Beat for the follow-up film Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Ollie and Jerry, Showdown, written by Joe Curiel, who, from 1982 to 1992, worked as an arranger and a composer for The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. He also contributed music and songs to movies such as Roxanne, Summer School, and Quicksilver. 3V, Heart of the Beat, written by Charlie Midnight and Dan Hartman. Dan Hartman, a songwriter and producer, has collaborated with Tina Turner, Dusty Springfield, Joe Cocker, Bonnie Tyler, Paul Young, The Plasmatics, and Steve Winwood. Hartman produced and co-wrote Living in America for James Brown. Firefox, Street People, written by Don Peake, Jerry Knight, and Ollie Brown. Don Peake was part of a session group called The Wrecking Crew and was lead guitarist for the Everly Brothers. Peake played guitar on the classic Phil Spector recordings You've Lost That Loving Feeling by the Righteous Brothers and River Deep, Mountain High by Ike and Tina Turner. He's the lead guitarist on the Jackson 5 hit songs ABC and I Want You Back. Other artists Dawn has played guitar for are John Lennon, the Commodores, Jan and Dean, the Mamas and Papas, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson and the Temptations, the Beach Boys, Sonny and Cher, Billy Preston, and Diana Ross. Dawn did arrangements for Roy Orbison, the Monkees, Wayne Newton, Minnie Riperton, The Fifth Dimension, and Hank Williams Jr. He also worked on films with Wes Craven as a composer for The People Under the Stairs, The Hills Have Eyes, and was the composer for the TV show Knight Rider from 1983 to 1986. Reflex 2, Cut It. The band is known for their hit, The Politics of Dancing. Rufus and Chaka Khan, Ain't Nobody. This song was sampled in over 50 songs. Rufus and Chaka Khan had several hits throughout their career, including Tell Me Something Good and Sweet Thing. Ain't Nobody was written by Hawk Walensky, who has worked as a musician, songwriter, and or producer with the Bee Gees, Glenn Frey, and Michael Jackson. Chris the Glove Taylor and David Storrs, Reckless, rap by Ice-T, aka Tracy Marrow, is a rapper, musician, songwriter, author, record producer, and actor. Written by Chris the Glove Taylor and David Storrs, Chris the Glove Taylor claims to have produced Stranded on Death Row and Doggy Dog World. Also The Chronic and Doggy Style, though he's not credited on either album, and also claims to have written and produced the tracks for Explosive by Dr. Dre and Hello by NWA. David Storrs worked on the soundtracks for the film Sunset Strip and the song Killers. It was also used in another film called Rappin', and he went on to do the song Go Off for the sequel, Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Breakdance, various artists, and with Alex and the City Crew. There are several versions of this record with different songs and song orders. The versions are from the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. Break to the Music is side A. First song, Herbie Hancock, Rocket. We covered this song in an earlier episode of These Are My Records. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Wheels of Steel, includes samples from Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, Birthday Party by the Furious Five, Eighth Wonder by Sugar Hill Gang, Good Times by Chic, and Monster Jam by Spoonie G, along with Rapture by Blondie. 10 Speed by Tour de France is a strange type of cover by members of the band that they are covering. The song, from one version or the other, has been sampled at least 65 or more times. Written by founding members of Kraftwerk. D-Train, You're the One for Me. Written by Hubert Eves III, James D-Train Williams, and has been sampled in over 20 songs, including Something to Dance To by NWA and Swingin' with the Hevster by Heavy D and the Boys. Twilight 22, Electric Kingdom. This song has been sampled over 20 times, and the band is also known as 0 Hour. Freeze, Pop Goes My Love. Freeze were an English electronic music group initially known as one of the UK's main jazz funk bands of the early 1980s. Written by Arthur Baker, John Rocca, and Peter Moss. The B-side is Learning to Break, Learn to Break, side B. Alex and the City Crew do instructional type songs, and they are the same across the different released versions of this record. First song up with the instructions is Electric Shocks, Shockwaves, Rapotition, Scratch Walk, Shake Your Arm Up and Down with the Boogie Speed, Boogie Head, Let Electro Beat Make Your Body Move, Spacewalk Action. Alex and the City Crew, Say What? Say Who. This is a song by Alex and the City Crew, written by Alex and the City Crew, who are Van Orstrom, Starrink, and Roos. All that I have found on them is that they seem to be from the Netherlands. Leave a comment if you know more. Breakdancing is the next record. The interesting thing about this record is that it has a breakdance instructional bit from a group called the Dance Patrol, who rap before each song and describe moves. The tracks are introduced with the songs. It used to have an instructional poster as well. Side 1, Malcolm McLaren, the world-famous Supreme Team, Buffalo Gals. This was reviewed on a previous episode of These Are My Records. Check the links for description. Herbie Hancock, Rocket. This was reviewed on a previous episode of These Are My Records. Check the links for description. Lisa Lisa and the Cult Jam with Full Force. I Wonder If I Take You Home. This song has been sampled over 25 times, notably on the songs Hip Hop vs. Rap by KRS-One, Dangerous Mouths by Missy Elliott featuring Redman, and Secret Take You Home by Kylie Minogue. George Kranz, Trommelorans, Din Da Da. This is considered a classic dance music track and has been remixed and sampled and bootlegged many times, including 1987's hit Pump Up the Volume by Mars, and For Those Who Like to Groove by Twin Hype. Written and produced by Christoph Frank from the Tangerine Dream and George Kranz. Run DMC, It's Like That. This song has been sampled over 35 times, including King of New York by Schoolie D, and Hellraisers by DMC, Chuck D, DJ Eclipse, and Terminator X featuring PMD and MC Search. This is produced by Russell Simmons, Run's older brother, and Larry Smith, who also worked with Houdini and Curtis Blow. Written by Daryl DMC McDaniels, Joseph Run Simmons, and Larry Smith. John Rocca, I Want It to Be Real, contains samples from the arcade games Star Wars, Defender, and Galaxian, written by Andy Stenick and John Rocca, aka the band Freeze. Kid Savage and the Supreme Rockers, Drive Me Crazy. Producer, writer Kenny Beck, aka Kid Savage, is part of the Dance Patrol group that raps between the songs and gives Breakin instructional lessons. Seabank, One More Shot. Produced and written by John Roby, Arthur Baker's right-hand man in the studio during the 80s. He later sold all the beats he had used on many songs as sample packs. Grandmaster Melle and the Furious Five, White Lines, Don't Do It. This song has been sampled in over 60 songs and covered 7 times, including once by Duran Duran. Produced and written by Melvin Glover and Joey Robertson Jr., son of Sylvia Robertson. The Rocksteady Crew, Hey You, The Rocksteady Crew. This was reviewed on a previous episode of These Are My Records. Check the links for description. Subscribe, and give a comment if you feel like it. See you next time.